Today we're going to be checking out the OBSBOT Tiny 3. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Team Pandora.
Subscribble.
The webcam today came from OBSBOT. While this is a sponsored video, we'll do our best to give you an unbiased review. In the box we get a multilingual manual, and it includes all of these. In here we get guides on how to read, an overview, setting up, how to plug it into a computer, a variety of controls including gesture and voice, various functions such as zoom, HDR, shooting modes, as well as an overview of the OBSBOT Center. We also get a very nice looking carry case, where everything conveniently fits inside. Is the Tiny 3? And it is tiny. Look at this. Kawaii! There's a monitor mount, with a nice amount of friction behind the hinges. But to be honest, this is more like a clip, and it'll be able to attach to the thinnest of monitors. There's also a USB-C cable, roughly 1.5 meters in length, and this comes with a USB-C to USB-A adapter. Before we move on, let's check out the specs. This shares many of the features of last year's Tiny 2, but doubles the ISO value all the way up to 12,800. It includes an extra omnidirectional microphone, and has an advanced version of HDR. There are a few more AI tricks under the hood, but unfortunately, very much like most other webcams, it maxes out 4K at 30 FPS. So here's what arrived, but let's test it out. The mount included easily clipped onto the monitor, and inside the Tiny 3, there's a strong magnet that keeps it secure. As for the software, it's similar to other OBSBOT cameras. It uses the OBSBOT Center, and is fluent in multiple languages. There are two modes to choose from, either Lite or Pro, and with the Tiny 3 connected, we'll just run through some of these features. If we push the preview button up here, it allows us to see what the camera does. Hello. And then if we move the mouse to the bottom of the window, we can alter orientation. And if we click the arrows at the bottom right, it opens a larger preview window, where we can see our changes made much easier. At stock settings, the camera looks pretty good. And if we push the record button here, we can record in slow motion. Unfortunately, when I was trying to record video at normal speed, I kept accidentally pressing this, and the only place we could find normal speed record was in Pro mode. Anyway, moving to the options, we can change the speed of the gimbal, and this knob down here allows us to mechanically move the camera to anywhere we wish. But you can also do this by just click dragging on the preview screen, and we feel that there could be a few more things done to simplify things in Lite mode. We can digitally zoom in 4 times, and with these features, we have the full freedom to move the camera without actually moving the webcam. And you know, it is pretty cool. Let's have a look around my small room. Posters. Yeah. If you're worried about spots and how you look on camera, there is a beauty menu. In here we have an easy way to blur out the background in case you just don't like tidying up, like someone we know. Moving the slider up blurs more, but at level 3 it blurs out part of my head, so 2 is probably the sweet spot. Under that there's a background replacement, but before we did this, we added a cheap green screen, and a couple of clicks later, I was put in a room full of Amigas. Amazing. It would have been nice to see the background work a little better with the gimbal though, because a head flying around the screen looks pretty dumb. This option here apparently improves the look of the effect while using the green screen, but to be honest, can't really tell the difference. To be honest, if you want to tweak the way how your face looks, there are plenty of beauty options here, just like on previous OBSBOT cameras. The whole suite is included, but I prefer to either use no touch-up or man. Yeah. At the bottom of the window, there are yet more settings. And just a reminder, this is supposed to be Lite mode, and it's extremely overwhelming. There's more? Down here we can select resolution, and then there's gesture control. Thankfully though, they did include these little question mark boxes that explain the functions very clearly. For example, you can just raise an open hand to lock onto the target, point a finger up in the air to zoom, or move your fingers in and out to dynamically zoom. It mostly works fine, but with automatic features like this, hand gestures can affect the camera a bit too much. I mean, we had moments where it just take off on its own, so I recommend turning the gesture controls off. Either way, here's what it looks like when it's working. So I just locked onto myself, and use an open hand and it'll lock off. As you can see, the camera doesn't follow me. The voice control is also quite similar, where you say "Hi Tiny" and then get the Tiny 3 to do stuff. But it pretty much totally ignored me.
Hi Tiny. Hi Tiny. Hi Tiny. Hi Tiny. Hi Tiny.
Moving to the image controls now, we have manual focus, as well as autofocus in 2 modes. Global basically gives priority to anything in the middle of the screen, which does a great job, and face mode is pretty decent as well. But enough about settings, let's check out picture quality. Here we are at 720p with HDR enabled. At the top right we're at 200% zoom, and it looks quite good, even with a low resolution. Raising it now to 1080p, there is a significant improvement with the quality. As we're using 60 FPS, movement in the video looks rather good, and we feel this is the best setting for this camera. And now for 4K. As you can see, the image quality has improved, but movement becomes blurry due to the 30 FPS cap. It would be great for lectures though. Maybe for education, things like that. Oh yeah, my media room with bells and whistles checked. We're not using green screen, but it looks pretty good. Right now we're just testing some low light modes in 4K, 30 FPS, and we only have the 2 LEDs at the corner of the room, as well as the monitor that's turned on, and so far it's pretty good at low light. Let's try with no light. So right now we've only got the monitor light on, and as you can see, my face is in full view. It's quite incredible, really. Whew. Okay, so this is the microphone in the webcam, and we're running this in pure audio mode. So this is without any compression or anything like that. And if we switch it to spatial audio mode, which is this mode here, we should be able to hear from many different areas around the microphone. You should be able to hear it if it's closer or far away like this. But if we switch it now to something called Smart Omni Mode, this is actually designed for when you have a group meeting or something like that. So what's going to happen is the microphone in the webcam is going to pick up all of the voices, even though they're actually from far away. Next mode is something called directional mode, which is actually recording from the front of the webcam. So it'll be perfect for something like when you're on the Zoom call, or if you're supposed to be, I don't know, in a work meeting or something like that. So it will reject all of the audio from the sides and the back too. And the last mode for the built-in mic is something called dual directional mode. And this one picks from the front of the webcam and the rear, but not on the sides. So right now we're using the Tiny 3 in a dining area of my house. The thing is, we're actually in a large room where the walls actually bounce around the sound. So it's quite difficult to use a condenser microphone here. Using a dynamic microphone is usually the best solution. But this is how our inbuilt mic sounds right now on the Tiny 3. Is it any good? You tell me. We actually have a different trick under our sleeve. So right now we're using this lapel mic, and this one's from OBSBOT themselves. It's the Vox SE, and it's on no noise reduction. Just going to put it to weak, and you should be able to hear less room echo. Going to bump that again to medium. Unsure if you can hear that'll do for there, or the air conditioning that's currently on. But yeah, I'm just going to whack it onto strong now. So the thing is, with this microphone, what you could do is essentially walk around the whole room, and you could hear me wherever I'm stood, right? So if you're a university lecturer, it'd be perfect. Let me just demonstrate that for you right now. As you can see, the Tiny 3 is actually following my face. Oh, is it zooming in? All right. So we're in the kitchen, and yeah, I could show you how to cook. Nice. I think it's about time for the pros and the cons, don't you? Yes, we do. The OBSBOT Pro 3 is an amazingly tiny webcam with an overwhelming amount of features under its belt. It has decent picture quality, even in low light situations, and both focus and HDR are on point. We effectively have an AI cameraman with that gimbal, and with them 3 microphones inside, we get very high quality audio, suitable for remote learning. And finally, the sheer amount of software features packed in is insane. As for the cons, there's no shying away from the price. It is steep, and it's probably due to it being marketed for the high end, or to be used in business or education. It's a shame that this price tag didn't include 4K at 60Hz, and we felt that there needs to be a cut down version of the software. It just feels a bit too much, and quite bloated. The feature-packed Tiny 3 is definitely a tiny titan. It is ideal for education and businesses, but for the regular user, we feel that the Tiny 3 Lite, being much cheaper with only a few features trimmed, is a much better buy. Here's a quick thank you to all of those on our Patreon, and all of these fine people help keep our lights on. If you too want to help us monetarily, please jump on. We also have Discord for chinwags. This has been Amy Chicken of Team Pandori, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ta-ra!